Hey guys, in today's video, I wanted to go over my thoughts and reactions to the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 ports, just to go over what I think and what's happened in the last 24 hours or so. Now, what you're seeing on screen right now is actually my second game on. I have to be honest with you, I have not been able to play Black Ops 1 yet. I just played Black Ops 2, and this is my second game on Black Ops 2. Unfortunately, on my first game, I jumped right in. I was too excited. I forgot to change my settings, but I backed out, changed my sensitivity, my button layout, got right back in there, and now what you're seeing on screen is Vertigo. We're playing Domination. I'm using the default class, Scorpion, and you see me just run around mid-map holding down the B flag, and it's a good gameplay overall. But without wasting any more time, let's just get right into it. So, in my commentaries, we've been covering this for the past month, right? And the biggest point of concern was the DLC. How would they roll it out with the DLC? And when I made a commentary saying that theoretically Activision's way to make the most money would be to actually sell it separately, and that might not go well for the matchmaking over, the long run of the game, or if it has longevity, that might be not so good for the matchmaking, but we did foresee this happening, and this is not a surprise, but it's just a disappointment that this is still something that we have to deal with. It's Activision at the end of the day, and this is not a new criticism. This is something that has been a criticism of Call of Duty for actually the longest time. Even when these games were out in their prime, one of the main points of contention with the Call of Duty player base was to not separate the matchmaking with the DLC included, right? So in MW3, I think you had the option to matchmake with the DLC off. That was something that the COD player base has always wanted. Either bundle the DLC together or you don't, and don't force players to play split. But unfortunately, they didn't listen. They're going to listen to their wallets instead. And like I said, theoretically, not including the DLC with the base purchase is how they would make the most money. It's not a attractive decision, but it's something that we could foresee. And yes, we are disappointed, but at the end of the day, that is just something that we have to deal with. Now, another point of concern is the other platforms, right? Will this be coming to Xbox, PC, Switch 2? The answer is no for now, and probably for the foreseeable future, and probably forever. I don't think they will release these ports on Xbox and PC because those games are already on those platforms. Switch 2 is a little bit of a different story, but I think the fact that these are just ports for the PlayStation kind of confirms that they did not really have any plans for the Switch. So when it comes to the other platforms, it does seem like they are dead in the water when it actually comes to getting these ports. Now, another thing that's been confirmed is obviously there are no enhancements. That is something that Charlie Intel confirmed, but we didn't know until we actually got our hands on the game. So, like I said in previous commentaries, there was the potential, obviously, to do 120 FPS, to do all of these optimized enhancements, but they chose not to, obviously, because they're Activision at the end of the day. We have to remember who we're dealing with. They take the time to, remove wager matches in theater mode. Whether they are good decisions or not, I don't know if people are really genuinely upset about this. Obviously, people are sad at the fact that theater mode, wager matches, league play, those are not in the game. But if we can protect the game's integrity by eliminating the theater mode and maybe, eliminating exploits when it comes to the COD currency in Black Ops 1, maybe that's for the better. So, although it's sad to see those things go, if it actually is to protect the game's integrity, okay, fine. That's probably a W. If it can make the games have some longevity, okay, fine. I can understand why Activision took the time to remove wager matches, to remove theater mode, right? Even the player count. If you have to remove your player count because you're worried the games you budget $600 to $700 million for aren't going to compete with the games that are 15 to 10 years old and just got ported over, that means that you're not only scared of how bad your current games are performing, but you actually have the capability to change things in the game, right? So The fact that it's not a one-to-one port, because we are missing the player count, we are missing some key features, you can't tell me as easy it is to take them away, you can't give us some. So, like I said, that was foreseen as well. We are dealing with Activision at the end of the day. They have many, many capabilities. They never use them, they never utilize their full potential. They only utilize it just enough to get as much money as they can. Like I said, this is something that we have foreseen. But the great news also is that all the DLC in Black Ops 2 is free, and I'm not talking about the DLC packs, I'm talking about the camos, the Peacekeeper, all of that stuff is free, which is great news. And I would say if you do want to buy the DLC packs, it would be only worth it if you plan on playing just zombies or just zombies and multiplayer. If you plan on playing both, I recommend you get the DLC, especially if you do have PlayStation Plus, because then you could get each season pass for only $10. And from what I've seen people discuss online, the matchmaking when it comes to actually having the DLC is not that bad because apparently a lot of players who bought this do have PlayStation Plus, and so if they do get, 8 DLC packs for $20, to me that might actually be worth it. That's a good bundle to get on two $40 games. So, even if you're just going to get one $40 game on sale with PS Plus, and then you get your season pass, it's going to cost you $80 max, maybe 64 if you only want one after tax. So at the end of the day, there are options for people out there. If you don't want both, if you don't want the DLC for both, there are options out there that you can utilize, which is good. And the fact that we do have our precious emblem editor back, this is something that I think is going to not only make people happy, but that actually I think improves morale amongst the players, right? The fact that when you die and you get to look at killed by and then you see that emblem, whatever crazy idea that person has thought of, that is something that we have longed for in Call of Duty. That is something that they have taken away and never given back. So that's good to see that feature come back in 2026. Other than that, I started off pretty slow. Like I said, I'm still getting acclimated. I'm coming over from Plutonium where I've played on a high FOV, high FPS. Plutonium is very different, especially with the high FPS altering the physics of the game. I'm so used to actually just sprinting faster and jumping higher. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to it slowly but surely. I am going to do a Road to Commander right before I start doing any Road to Prestige series. That is going to carry over. I'm going to do the playing with subs. I've created my PSN. I'm going to start dropping the PSN down below as well. And yeah, I'm going to do top 10 classes. Got a bunch of different content ideas that I'm doing. Like I said, I just jumped right in so quick I forgot to change my settings. So, like I said, that's why you're seeing my second game on. But I do have the first game recorded for the Road to Commander series. So, we're going to do all of that good stuff. Let me know what you guys want to start seeing down below. We're here. We're going to start grinding out these ports. I'm only on Black Ops 2 right now, but I'm going to get my ass on Black Ops 1 as quick as I can. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.